How to start loving yourself. When we think of people we love, many faces come to mind, but the one person you always end up forgetting is, surprise, yourself. Today's video will be about the best strategies you can follow to truly love yourself. Strategy number 1, know yourself better. One of the most important things I've learned on my journey to self-love is the importance of understanding myself. When you take the time to really learn about who you are, what you like, and what you need, you feel more connected to yourself and more confident in your choices. This in turn helps you to love and accept yourself just the way you are. To start learning more about yourself, you should ask yourself questions. What makes me happy? What are my values? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What do I want out of my life? By answering these questions, you gain a deeper understanding of who you are. You can also learn more about yourself by paying attention to your emotions. How do you feel in different situations? What makes you anxious or stressed? What brings you joy and fulfillment? By becoming more aware of your emotional landscape, you can start to identify patterns and triggers and develop strategies to manage your emotions more efficiently. You will find it helpful to reflect on past experiences and learn from them. What have you learned from past mistakes or challenges? What have been your proudest accomplishments? By reflecting on the ups and downs of your life, you can start to see how you've grown and changed over time and appreciate the person you are today. Learning more about yourself isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable at times. It requires a willingness to be honest with yourself, to face your fears and insecurities, and to challenge yourself to grow. But it's one of the most rewarding things you can do for yourself. When you know and accept yourself for who you are, you're able to show up in the world with more confidence, compassion, and love. By taking the time to understand who you are, you can start to appreciate your unique qualities and embrace your true self. So take time to reflect, ask yourself questions, and explore your emotions. Maybe you will fall in love with the person you discover. Strategy number 2, challenge your mental narrative. One of the best things you can do for your self-esteem is recognize the power of challenging your mental narrative. It's so easy to get caught up in negative self-talk and beliefs that don't serve us. But when we start to question those thoughts and stick to the actual facts, we can start to love ourselves more fully and authentically. For me, this has meant learning to recognize when I'm telling myself stories that aren't based on reality. Maybe I'm telling myself that I'm not good enough, or I'm a failure, or I'm not lovable. But when I take a step back and look at the actual evidence, I can see that those beliefs aren't true. It can be uncomfortable to challenge your mental narrative at first, especially if you're used to believing your negative thoughts. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes, and the more you start to see the actual facts, the more you can start to appreciate and love yourself for who you are. One way to challenge your mental narrative is to ask yourself, is this really true? Whenever you notice a negative thought or belief popping up, try to examine it objectively. Look for evidence that supports or contradicts the belief, and try to consider the situation from a different perspective. You might be surprised at how much your beliefs can shift when you approach them with curiosity and openness. Still have difficulty in doing so? Then it might be an idea to start by doing it only at the beginning and end of your try. Every morning you wake up, start your day with positive self-thoughts. What is something you have done today which you're proud of? Do the same before you go to sleep. Think about something good you have accomplished today. You will notice that this is very helpful as you start your day with something positive and end with it as well, which will impact how you think about yourself. Sometimes, it's really easy to fall victim to what people call the main character syndrome. It can be easy to feel like everyone is looking at you all the time, thinking about you, judging the choices you make, silently laughing at you. It is important to realize that it's all just in your head. Another helpful practice is to focus on your strengths and accomplishments. When you take time to acknowledge the things you do well and the ways in which you've succeeded in the past, it can help counteract the negative self-talk. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might be, and try to remember them next time when you're feeling down. When you learn to recognize and question your negative thoughts, you can start to appreciate and love yourself for who you truly are. So be kind to yourself, challenge your beliefs, and celebrate your strengths. You deserve to love and be loved, and it starts with how you talk to yourself. Strategy number 3, be authentic. For the longest time, I thought that the key to loving myself was to conform to social expectations and be someone I'm not. I was constantly comparing myself to others and trying to fit in. No matter how hard I tried, I never truly felt fulfilled or happy. It wasn't until I embraced my authentic self that I realized how much self-love and self-care could do wonders for my overall well-being. Being authentic means accepting and embracing all aspects of who you are, both the good and the bad. It means being honest with yourself about your thoughts, feelings, and desires, and not being afraid to express them. When you live authentically, you give yourself the freedom to be who you truly are without judgment or criticism. This self-acceptance is the first step towards self-love and ultimately a happier, more fulfilling life. Self-care goes hand in hand with authenticity. When you're authentic, you're able to identify your needs and take care of them. Self-care means taking time for yourself, doing things you enjoy, and practicing mindfulness. It also means setting boundaries and saying no to things that don't align with your values or goals. Being authentic is the best way to start loving yourself. It's about accepting and embracing who you are, with flaws and all. When you live authentically, you're able to practice self-care and give yourself the love and attention you deserve. Remember to always be true to yourself, and the rest will fall into place. Number 4. You are not your surroundings. Many of us are used to thinking that in order to love ourselves, we need to have a perfect life with perfect surroundings. But the truth is, loving yourself has nothing to do with your external environment and everything to do with your internal state of mind. In fact, it's possible to love yourself even when your surroundings are less than ideal. Self-care is all about creating a nurturing and supportive environment for yourself, both internally and externally. And while having a comfortable and enjoyable physical environment can certainly be part of self-care, it's not the most important factor. The most important thing when it comes to self-love is learning to accept and appreciate yourself for who you are, regardless of your surroundings. This means letting go of the idea that your surroundings define your worth, and instead focusing and cultivating a positive and loving relationship with yourself. Sure, it's nice to have a comfortable bed, a cozy home, and a beautiful view. But if you're not taking care of yourself emotionally and mentally, none of those things will make a difference in how you feel about yourself. If you can create a comfortable and enjoyable physical environment for yourself in the process, more power to you. But just remember, the most important thing is to love and accept yourself for who you are, regardless of your surroundings. Number 5. Don't compare yourself to others. The best thing you can do for your mental health is to stop comparing yourself to others, especially on social media. It can be damaging for your self-esteem if you are constantly scrolling through Instagram and feeling inadequate in comparison to the seemingly perfect lives of others. You will notice that if you stop comparing yourself to others, you'll begin to appreciate your own accomplishments and growth, no matter how small they may seem in comparison to others. Focusing on your own journey and progress is the key to self-love and care rather than constantly striving to be someone else. Comparing yourself to others can create an endless cycle of self-doubt and negativity, but when you focus on your own progress and journey, you can celebrate your successes and appreciate the unique qualities that make you who you are. It's important to remember that what you see online is often just a highlight reel of someone else's life. People tend to only share the best parts of their lives, leaving out the struggles and hardships that everyone experiences. So if you find yourself falling into the trap of comparison, take a step back and focus on your own journey. You can even mute these people on social media so that you're not constantly bombarded with their content. Celebrate your own accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem, and remember that everyone has their own struggles and insecurities. Remember, the most important relationship you have, or you are ever going to have, is with yourself. That's it for today. I hope you liked today's video. Which of today's tips made the most sense to you? Do let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye, and thank you so much.